Hello and welcome to a very brief, very fast introduction to Remedy Developer Studio. Remedy Developer Studio in version 7.5 replaces the Remedy Administrator tool in prior versions. What this is an IDE, an integrated development environment for developing applications in Remedy. This new environment is actually a heavily customized version of Eclipse, which is a free and open source software developed by Visual Age originally, used by Java developers, also other programming languages. But Remedy is not like those more traditional programming languages. Let's see how we can develop a very simple Remedy app without any traditional coding, that is typing if then else sort of thing. Let's take a quick look at this environment here. Just walking through these pull down menus. What about Remedy Developer Studio? Well, we're looking at version 7.5. There's a lot to the help system actually. If you're going to become proficient in Remedy, you'll spend a lot of time here. This help system is very nicely done. It covers everything about the Remedy development environment. I can't say enough good things about it. You can search on things, and core fields are a central concept we'll touch on briefly here because it is so central to everything. Note the jump from 8 to 15, short description of status history. Let's close help. Before I do, just notice that you can bookmark things. There is an index. It's just a really good thing to use. Some of these different panels here, this particular pane is the AR System Navigator, and you can right click on these different items here to create a new active link, a new filter. Active link guides are a way of grouping your active links. Filter guides group your filters. A lot of these things you can only create one of. Menus, there's a whole bunch of different kinds of menus. Forms are the central item in developing Remedy applications. Everything, the active links, the escalations, the filters, are all associated with forms. So let's create a new regular form. And voila, this central pane here shows us our form. And you can see that when a form is created, the 8 core fields are created for you. And as I'm scrolling through these fields, you can see that this outline panel here lists all of the fields that are on my form. It doesn't show 15, the status history, because that's not kept in this particular form. I'm going to highlight all of these fields. I do that just by creating a box. This creates a marquee, and once they're highlighted I can move them out of the way and put them over here for right now. Those are our core fields. And I'm going to right click here and create a new field, and we're just going to create some trim text. And over here are the properties, and all of these fields, all of these panes I should say, are customizable. You can close or shrink the navigator over here. We can move these fields by right clicking here. We can dock on the top, bottom, left, or right. All of these panes can move around, and people have different ways of, different personal preferences for how they like these different panes to appear. But you can group them together. You can shrink them down. I'll just shrink some of these down to show you. If you wanted to look at a form and use more of your real estate for that, it is nice to have the outline and properties. Outline is a really nice tool for large forms that have lots and lots of fields. Okay, so we have a bit of trim text here, and it's displaying new text. Let's change that to "Hello World." It is traditional for first applications. Let's create another, and you see that this text field has been created with ID of 536,870,913. Let's create another new field. Let's make it a character field. In this character field, we could call it last name. And we'll create one more, and we'll call this one first name. Let's make a field that's just a decimal field. Let's call it salary. Let's see, it has a precision of 2. Let's give it a minimum value of 0. Give it a maximum value of close to $1 million. Nobody should be making more than that. Let's save this form. We click on the save icon, and it wants to know the name of the form. So let's call it, we could call it anything, but that wouldn't help us find it later. Traditionally, say if this is a human resources application, we might call it HR, name, salary. Name and salary, okay. And it's been created. So let's see if we can run this form. We'll minimize this, and we'll bring up the Remedy user tool, and let's look for all forms beginning with HR colon. And there it is. And let's create a new form. So right now we're using the Remedy user tool, which will be going away, but we can see that we can enter names, last name, salary, I don't know, I think he makes about 200 grand a year. And let's save this. And we get an error message. Required fields without a default are not specified. Short description and submitter. So these two fields, submitter and short description, are required fields. So the submitter is me, and a short description is test. Let's see if we can save it now. And voila, we've saved it. She must make a lot of money. We'll max her out. And again, the submitter is me, and the description is test. And we'll save that. Now let's see if we can do a search. I'll hit the binoculars here to change this to blue to do a quick search. I'll give it an unqualified search. Let's see what we get. Okay, so we have our two records here. There's Barack Obama and Lady Gaga, but we don't have much here in the way of our results fields. We only have the short description. So now let's see what we can do to make this form a little bit prettier. Let's close the Remedy user tool and reopen the Developer Studio. And here's our form. Now the submitter field, it would be nice if it had a default value. And we could make it the user. I'll just add that there. And the short description, let's see, can we give that a default value? Let's just give it the weekday. I just double click there to move it there rather than adding keyword. Okay, now we don't need to see all of these things, so let's marquee them all and change their display attribute visible false, and instead of hello world, let's call this HR test app. Field, let's make it header 1, make it big field. Let's justify these to the right. That look better? Oh no, might look a little better. Let's see, form properties, the results list. Let's add some things here. This way, when we use the user tool, that top panel displaying results will show more fields for us. It'll be more meaningful. I want to see the salary, the first name, the last name. Let's look at the short description and the request ID and a modified date. Okay. And let's save that again. Away review. To get a fresh view from the user tool, we have to log in again. And look up that particular form. Let's search again. The key thing is that we've created a simple application here that can be accessed by users throughout the enterprise. We haven't written any code. That's your quick look at the Remedy Developer Studio tool. If you're watching this on YouTube, please give us a rating to let us know how we're doing. We also love to read your comments for additional feedback. For more videos and Remedy tutorials, please visit our website, remedytutorials.com. You can register there and join our community. Thanks for watching.